Hi, Karina. Hi, Kira. I want to read this book to you. So, why don't you guys sit on the couch, snuggle up together? I'll give you a couple of seconds. And once you're ready, I'll read this book to you. So, we're going to read up this Glimmer Girls, Light Up New York. We're going to read the first chapter. So, chapter 1. Mia watched out her window as the cab rolled past the stone piers that supported the bridge. Between the crisscross steel beams, she caught glimpses of New York's tall buildings, stretching into the sunset-colored sky. Even after all the Glimmer family adventures in the past few months, visiting New York City was a particularly special treat. "It's like driving into a dragon's mouth," Lulu shouted, bouncing in her booster seat. Lulu had insisted on sitting in the middle of the cabbie's tiny back row, squishing between Mia and Maddie. Mom and Dad had a row of their own in front of the girls, and Miss Julia sat alone in the row ahead of them. "Watch your elbows, Lulu," Mia complained, exchanging a glance with Maddie. Mia knew Maddie wouldn't say anything about Lulu nearly poking out her eye. Maddie might have been born on the same day as Mia, but their differences went far beyond Mia's glasses. Mia had been born 2 minutes earlier, was 2 inches taller, and her patience seemed to wear out 2 times faster. But lately, even Maddie's patience had been wearing thin. Whatever Mia and Maddie wanted to do, there was Lula insisting on being smack dab in the middle. "No wonder people call this city the concrete jungle," Miss Julie said, leaning forward and looking up out of the front window. "The bridge doesn't feel like it's swallowing us up, doesn't it, Lulu? And girls, in case you're wondering, this is the Queensboro Bridge." After a moment of fact-checking on her phone, she added, "built between 1901 and 1909. Miss Julia was curious about everything, which was one of the things Mia liked best about traveling with their nanny. She made it feel like they had an on-the-go tour guide wherever they went. Lulu had been busy counting on her fingers, but now she looked up, eyes wide. "Whoa, that's more than 100 years ago." Maddie took hold of her seat belt strap and warily eyed the river below. "But the bridge is safe, right?" "Actually, it was renovated," Miss Julie said. "They finished the renovation in 2012. Someone leaned on their horn. Another car honked back, setting off a flurry of horns blaring on all sides. "This traffic," Dad said. "Even when it's not rush hour, it's crowded," the cabbie said. "That's just the way the city is." "It's often called the city that never sleeps," Mom said, "which is one of the things I like most about New York. Also, there are at least 80 museums in the city, another great reason to visit." "Does that mean we don't have to sleep while we're here?" Lulu asked. Dad laughed and reached back to tug on one of her pigtails. "Don't you wish?" "Speaking of sleep," the cabbie continued, making Mia wonder whether all New York cabbies were so talkative. At home, they had barely ever rode in cabs, but sometimes they did while on tour with Mom. Mia's favorite cabs were the ones that they had taken last summer in London, with steering wheels on the opposite side of the car. None of the London cabbies had spoken to them, though obviously New York was different. "Have you heard about the muckety mucks who will be sleeping on the streets this Thursday night?" the cab driver went on. "They want to help homeless teens. That's a good thing. But I hope they know that what they're getting themselves into. January in New York is cold. Good thing this week is well above zero. And no snow yet. But still. Actually, I'll be singing at the Light Up New York concert on Friday night before the sleep out," Mom said. "And so will the girls. We hear it's a beautiful event. Everyone streams into Times Square, candles lit, lighting up the surrounding streets. Last year, in the months after the event, hundreds of homeless teens transitioned off the streets. "I'll sing you our song," Lulu announced, and launched into it, filling the cab with her voice. After an ear-splitting chorus and a verse, the cabbie's radio crackled to life. "Quiet now," Lulu, Mom said. "We need to make sure the driver can hear his radio." "Huh?" the cab driver said, eyeing Mom in the rearview mirror. Mia could tell he wanted to ask Mom who exactly she was, but he left it alone. Dad winked at Mom and laced his fingers through hers, whispering, "Muckety-muck." Mia rolled the phrase around in her mind, wishing she could ask Miss Julie where it came from, even though Mom was a muckety-muck, whatever that meant. Exactly. Thankfully, she wasn't going to sleep on the streets. Dad and the event organizers had decided Mom should sleep indoors to protect her voice. And that meant the girls wouldn't sleep outside either. Mia hoped she'd be bold enough to take part in the sleep out when she was older, even though sleeping on the streets didn't sound one bit comfortable. If she'd learned one thing at 3rd Street Community House this fall, it was that being poor wasn't only about not having enough money. One of the worst parts of being poor was feeling less than others and separated from everyone else. Mia thought the sleep out was an interesting way for the community to start to connect, even if it was only for one night. "So girls, we have a week in New York," Mom said. "What do you want to do while we're in the city?" Mia reached for her journal. On the plane, she had written a list of things she wanted to do. For the past few weeks, she'd been reading up on New York City and all there was to do here. But before Mia could even find the right page, Lulu threw both her arms into the air. "Ice!" Lulu shouted. "Did you say we could ice skate outside?" Mia blew out a sigh. Of course Lulu would want to ice skate. Lulu could skate rings around both her sisters, but especially Mia. Maddie was a pretty good skater, too. It was all Mia could do to stay on her feet while her skates slipped out on the ice. Mia wrote a list on the plane. Maddie tapped Mia's half-open journal. "You had a lot of good ideas." "What sounds fun to you, Mia?" Mom asked. Mia finished flipping through pages until she found the list. "Well, I read that the library isn't like ordinary libraries," she said. "There's art on display, which Maddie would like, and books, of course, and a map room." She ran her finger down her list. And then there's the Met, where Claudia and her brother Jamie hid out and solved a mystery from the mixed up files of Miss Basil E. Frank Wheeler. And they took a bath in the fountain and collected pennies. "Who did that?" Lulu asked. "They are characters in a book I read. It's by E.L. Coinsborough," Mia explained. "Oh." Lulu grabbed hold of Maddie and Mia, so excited that her fingers dug into their arms. "That's what we should do. Solve a mystery." "Hold it." Dad turned to give them a serious look, but they could all see the smile under it. "I think we've had more than our share of mysteries for the year." "You can say that again," Mom agreed. "Okay, so the library and the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And ice skating," Lulu said. "And the Statue of Liberty," Maddie added. "And I want to find the perfect cup of coffee," Dad said. "And eat some famous New York pizza." "Pizza!" Lulu echoed. "I vote we have pizza for dinner," Mom said. "Well, we'll get settled in our rooms and then go see what we can find. What do you say, girls?" "Yes!" the girls chimed, for once in complete agreement. "Here's your hotel," the cab driver said, pulling up to the curb and turning off the engine. "Welcome to the Grand Hyatt, ladies and gentlemen." And that's the end of chapter 1. I had a fun time, girls. I love and miss you guys. I'll do chapter 2 when I can. Love you.